In this video, we want to examine what we mean by government. And also we'll be looking at the features and characteristics of government and also the reasons why we study government. As what we understand, man is a social animal. And as a social animal, man always looks for a way to manage its own affairs, because every animal always manage their affairs. In a way, to managing affairs, we come to have what we call government. But for us to understand government, there are three different angles in the definition of government. Number one, we can look at government as an institution of the state. Two, we can look at government as a process and act of governing. Government as a process and act of governing. And three, we can look at government as an academic field of study. Now, these are the three angles from which we can examine and define what we mean by government. Now, as an academic, as an institution of the state, what do we mean? We can define government as an institution of a state to mean a machinery established by the state to organize the state, manage its affairs, and administer its functions and duties. So as an institution, let's examine the key words that we have there. We say we can define government as an institution of a state by saying that government is a machinery that is established by the state. And when we have this establishment by the state, it is to organize the state, to manage its affairs, and administer its function and duties. So that is what we mean when we talk about government as an institution of a state. For better clarification, we can put it also as a machinery, an agency through which the will of the state is formulated, expressed, and attained. So we say we can call it an agency or machinery through which the will of the state is formulated, expressed, and attained, or in other words, achieved. So these are the different angles that we can look at government as an institution of the state. For emphasis sake, let's take note of some key issues that we have here. We have, as an institution, that means government is a machinery. So you have an understanding of a machine. And what do we use a machine? And a machine is an instrument of carrying out an activity. So government as an institution of the state is a machine, is an agent that is established, that is created by the state. The people of a particular geographical area that form themselves into a state then decide to establish an institution to establish a machinery for what purpose? To organize the states, for organization, that is for management of affairs, to manage its affairs and to administer, to carry out its functions and duties. That means not all the people can carry out the role of the state. Therefore, an agent, an institution, a machinery is established to do that. And in another way, we say it's a machinery through which the will, the desire, the aspiration of the state is formulated. So that means there are wills, there are desires, there are aspirations of the state. They are formulated, they are established, they are expressed, and they are achieved, attained. And that is what we mean when we talk about government as an institution of a state. Here we have the National Assembly, the Nigerian National Assembly. And for the Nigerian National Assembly that we have, we can deduce that this is a body, this is an institution, this is an agency that has been created. And it has been created for a purpose, as we have established. And this purpose is to ensure that the desires, the wills, the aspirations of the Nigerian state is achieved. And these organs, these institutions that we have established by the state to ensure that the will of the state is achieved, that we have as the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Now, this is the Supreme Court of Nigeria, which represents an organ that we can describe to be the judiciary. Now, the executive is an organ that carry out, implements policies. The legislature, they are the ones that make the laws, while the judiciary, they interpret the law and also adjudicate on cases. These are different institutions, and their role is to ensure that the will and the aspiration of the state is achieved. So, in summary, government as an institution of a state is a group of institutions, is a group of machines, is a group of structures that have been established by a particular state to organize the affairs of the state, to manage, administer the state, and to carry out the functions and duties of the whole state.